What's up, everybody?
Crispy.
Huh?
You gonna be up there looking crispy, man?
Yeah, definitely. What's up, everybody? This is a live session that we're having. Today we're going to be talking about the 10 most common credit repair mistakes that, of course, result in a worse credit score. And today we're going to be sharing that information with you. My name is Jason White, CEO and founder of Witness Riches, the 700 Club. This here is
Terrence Coleman. I'm not a CEO or a founder of Witness Riches Club.
He is one of our champions here at Witness Riches. So
Client
champion. He assists our clients with answering questions in regards to their credit reports and what we're doing to help them improve their credit scores. So I want to thank you all for joining us today. On Facebook Live, we're going to be talking about the 10 most common credit repair mistakes that ultimately result in a lower credit score. So we run across a lot of people who have tried to improve their credit scores on their own through disputing with credit bureaus, implementing tactics to rebuild their scores, and trying new things. And oftentimes they run into a few of these common mistakes. And we basically want to provide this information to you all to make sure that you're not making these mistakes and to ensure your progress with improving your credit scores, okay? So this is not a Q&A session. This is more of an informative session that we're going to be sharing with you to educate you on proper tactics to improving your credit score. And, we're going to go from there. Cool. All right.
If you do got questions, we'll take note and we'll try to get back to you after all this is said and done with. If we have time on live, we might get the answer for you there, but just know if you do ask a question, it'll be noted and then a response will be sent out to you as soon as humanly possible.
Yes, sir. All right, I want to share this on our private group with our clients really quick. So give me one quick second and then we're going to get started. But thank you all for joining us.
Most definitely, we appreciate it. So the video is public, right?
The video is public.
Share it with your homies. You never know. We may say something that someone who's, we may say something that someone is in this very predicament of doing. So be sure to share the post as well.
Yep, share and like this video. Like T-Dog said, you may know someone who is looking to improve their credit score and through the credit repair process. And this information can be helpful and make sure that they don't, shoot themselves in the foot. All right, so let's get to it. We're talking about the 10 most common credit repair mistakes. First, so number one.
Numero uno.
Yes, sir. People oftentimes are looking to improve their credit scores, and the first thing that they do is they will try to close old accounts that are reporting on their credit reports. We're talking about accounts that are, 5, 10, 15 years old. More than likely, they're a credit card, and the scenario is they probably just paid off the card, and to prevent themselves from getting in a hole, they want to just close the account and make sure that doesn't happen. Which we understand the logic behind that. However, the strategy won't necessarily. Woo, that was a strong.
You got this.
Woo!
His neck be talking, y'all. It wasn't a burp. It was probably his neck.
Yes, sir. It won't necessarily help your credit score, okay? So the thing when you close accounts on your credit report, you prevent a couple things from happening. We have the 5 components of a credit score right behind us. And one of those components is payment history. Payment history is 35% of your credit score, okay? And then we also have length of history, which is 15%, okay?
Let me scooch this up so they can see it. Let me scooch it up. Keep going.
All right, we're going to scoot it up. So together, that is, 50% of your credit score, okay? So we have 192 points and 82.5 points. Basically, the lowest credit score you can have is a 300. The highest credit score you can have is 850. That means you have 550 points that you can actually influence. Okay, if 35% is payment history, that means 192.5 points. And then we have length of history, 15%, 82.5 points. Okay, so altogether that's about 170. I'm sorry, 270 points that you can influence on your credit score. So when you close accounts, that means you're preventing payment history from continuing to report, one. And then two, you're also minimizing the length of history. That means it's no longer adding history to your account. So you want to be careful when you close accounts, because you can negatively impact these two components of your credit score. Okay, so that's one of the 10 mistakes that we see our clients make. You want to add anything to that? I know I said a bunch, so I'll probably beat them to it. All right. A couple days ago, we were talking about the second area, and it's disputing online. You want to cover this one?
So pretty much, we actually did a Q&A with TNA last week about this one. Disputing online really knocks out a lot of your rights, I guess, so to say. You lose a lot of rights disputing online. And a lot of those rights are very important when it comes to making sure that, one, accounts stay off, and two, these accounts are actually disputed in the right way. You don't want to dispute stuff online because, one, they don't have to verify with any of the companies. They don't have to let these companies know that they're in violation. And, you know, you're shooting yourself in the foot, because one of the most important things is there's no paper trail. You need that paper trail is really important, because a lot of times these companies that are inaccurate or at least willing to negotiate, they can trick you up if they're doing it all over the phone. So let's say, you know, you disputed an account online and it fell off your credit report, and then you see it reappear, so you call this person instead of, you know, doing the paper trail. Because, you know, hey, I disputed this account, it popped back up online, blah, blah, blah. They're going to look at you like, we never heard about that, or blah, blah, whatever the case may be, but we can make negotiations. And because you see it popped up, you want to get rid of it, you just automatically jump on the first negotiation they supply you without actually getting that stuff written down.
So, yeah, that tactic can cause you to, you know, doing things that you don't want to do.
Steps, yeah.
And also, disputing online, you know, you have very few options to dispute.
That's right.
There's many areas on your credit report, over 200 areas on your credit report that must be accurate. And disputing online, they only give you 10. So that means they're missing out on specific components of the credit report that you may want to dispute that they don't give you access to doing. So basically, you're limiting yourself when you dispute online, and we don't recommend that. We want you to, dispute in writing. That way you can maintain the paper trail, and you can dispute exactly what it is you want to dispute, and then they have to verify it. Okay,
so that's reasonings get very specific if you're doing it on hand.
Yep, exactly. That's the second most common credit repair mistake. You know what? I'm gonna stop talking.
I'm here to just laugh at them, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm here to just laugh at all his errors.
All right. So the third most common credit repair mistake that we see, often more than we would want to see, is when people renew the statute of limitations in regards to information reporting on their credit report, and in regards to the debt actually expiring. Okay, depending on the state that you live in, in Ohio, I believe it's maybe 7 to 8 years. A lot of debts expire. That means that the creditor or whoever acquired the debt no longer has the legal right to sue you on this debt, right? So if you are looking to repair your credit by potentially paying accounts, you want to be careful, because sometimes you can renew the statute of limitations, okay? When you acknowledge that the debt is yours and you make a payment arrangement on any of these debts, that renews the statute of limitations, meaning that the expiration date, if it was expired 5 years, you just restarted that debt over, and now you're legally liable for paying that debt, okay? And on your credit report, if we had an account that was charged off, and it's been charged off for over 10 years, but it's still reporting, and instead of you actually disputing it because it's past the 7 years and 180 days of reporting the payment history on your credit report, instead of you actually verifying that information and you go ahead and pay the account, not only have you restarted that time frame, but that account is now going to be re-aged to a more recent standing, okay? So you want to be careful when it comes to trying to get information removed off your report, because you don't want to renew the statute of limitations. Be careful on that. Make sure you do your research, okay?
Now, we get it. Situations happen where, you need, got distracted, y'all. Situations happens where, you think you need to just pay things off to get your score where you need it to be to get the situation that you're looking out for. Think about it this way. Whenever are you looking to buy something that same day it becomes doable? You know, so if someone says, hey, you can't get this car because of a collection account, and then you go, okay, well, I got the money to take care of that right now. I'm going to call you right back once I take care of this account. Then you call the collection agency and say, hey, I noticed a report on my record. I would like to get this settled away. And then you make plans online to pay that. Or let's say you got it in writing, and you made those plans in writing, but you didn't actually get the right verbatim to know the results going to happen that you need. You just re-aged a collection account. That is bad. That's bad because, one, it's a collection account, so it's already a bad mark on your report, and two, you just gave up a lot of room to negotiate on an account that was probably going to fall off in a lot less time. So if an account was going to fall off...
Don't say too much, man. That's number 6, bro. Trying to skip ahead. We're going to get to that. We're going to get a little deeper on that.
Dang. I was about to get going too, boy.
We're going to get to that one. Okay, so those are the top 3. Number 4, a lot of times people lack persistence when it comes to disputing things on the credit report. A credit bureau.
Patience even. I have persistence. Patience. Like, goodness.
Together, right?
Well, persistence means you're constantly going after. You're persistently doing something. If you have patience, you're going to give something its time to actually give you the result you're looking for.
Right. So when people are disputing information on the credit report and they get a reply back from the credit bureau says this information is verified. Unless you provide other proof, we're going to continue to basically respond with this. And people, they get discouraged
like a mug.
Because the credit bureau is this big entity. Worth over $4 billion, and they basically, they basically shut you down. And I get it. If they shut me down this time, what's going to change, and result in a better outcome?
A lot could change.
Yeah, a lot could change. And to be honest, persistence. If you continue to move forward, eventually you will get through. Oftentimes, what these credit bureaus do is instead of actually sending off information to the creditor to verify, their system is automated. So they just automate that whole process, and then they give you a simple response because they confirmed it through using your your name, your address, your birth date, social security number. If that information matches up to what the actual creditor or debt collector shared with the credit bureaus, then that's verification that obviously is yours, okay? But it can get deeper than that because, one, credit bureaus, over 80% of credit reports have errors, so obviously somebody's making a mistake. And then two, if I live at the same address as Terrence, and my account goes bad, that could potentially be added to his account because we share the same address. Okay, oftentimes those errors are added to your credit report. And then three, they're not actually verifying, they're not actually proving anything. Okay, in order to really prove something, we need documentation. And without that documentation, there's no validation.
Bars. On accident.
On accident. That's what I do. Anyway.
You see it in his face. This is about to rhyme. Oh, God.
So don't be discouraged. Be encouraged. You must continue to move forward and continue to, utilize your strategy. Whatever strategy you have, continue to work on it until you get the results.
Especially if you know it's a situation that's inaccurate. Don't give up if you know this information is wrong. They're constantly telling you it was valid. Like Jason just said, the bureaus, and like he said in the past, they're making money when people report bad stuff. So they're going to try to verify things the simplest way they can in an effort to get you moved along. How often do we have to even tell our children multiple times to do something the right way before they finally do it the right way? It's because they have the ease of access. They have the safe, I guess.
Well, my kids, they get it the first time. I say, you better stop. They stop. I don't know about your son.
Okay. Okay, that's why they was wearing the same shirt, because they listen, huh?
Hey, that's the inside joke. Anyway, and when he said that they make money off of sharing your information, they, your credit report is nothing but information. So they share that information with people who actually market off of that information. That's what he means by that, by them making money off of that. So, just don't be discouraged. Continue to move forward. Be persistent, and you eventually get the results you want. Oftentimes, we tell our clients, don't expect overnight results because it took you a lot longer to mess it up. You shouldn't expect it to, be fixed overnight. So if you have that mentality when you're working on, disputing your accounts and improving your credit score, you will be successful. All right.
Back to reason 2. That's also why Jason's constantly saying, do not dispute online. If you dispute online, they don't have to verify with any creditor. They can just say they did it. So if you're doing this stuff the right way, your persistency will be paid off, as opposed to being persistent and doing it the wrong way. You know, that's kind of the law of insanity. You keep doing something the same way, expecting a different result, you're going to get the same result if you're not changing up something of what you're doing. So in other words, a lot of times it's not only persistence, but it's also knowing what you did and how you can improve what you did.
So basically, change your approach.
Yes.
Yeah, so high five on that one.
Boom. Swag.
All right, so number five.
Not validating collection accounts, y'all.
Oftentimes, people will go into a lot of people believe that a paid collection is just as good, it's better than an unpaid collection, and it's going to improve the credit score.
Let me explain this one real fast.
That's on you, bro.
So, if I lent you money, and you never pay me back, so now I'm forced to sell your debt to someone else, and then you pay them that debt back after they only paid so much to get it off of me, what makes you think that that resold debt is going to look good on your favor to people who are out here looking to re-give you money? That's not going to look, that you're going to look good to a collection agency, because to a collection agency, they're like, oh, all we got to do is buy their debt from somebody else and they'll pay us. But these people who want to give you money are looking at you like, man, you never followed through with original people. You have to be in a bad situation to actually pay someone back. That's why an unpaid collection is just as bad as a paid collection, because it already shows that not only did you fall off the wagon,
you didn't keep your original agreement.
Exactly. And you're only paying someone now because you're in desperate mode, or you're in a situation where you need to fix your situation,
or you saw it on your credit report and you want to get it off.
Right.
So just because you pay the collection, it does not improve your credit score, one. And then a lot of people believe that if they pay it, it's going to magically disappear. But, you know, as you know, with credit bureaus, information can stay on your credit report 7 to 10 years. Okay, and that's after payment. So instead of...
It's a lot harder to get it removed if you pay.
Yep, so instead of just paying...
collections.
Okay, so this is... we kind of messed up. This is a mix between 5 and 6. Okay, so this basically pushes us over to number 6, paying collections without negotiating a deletion in writing. So now we understand that a paid collection is just as bad as unpaid collection. And what you want to do is you want to validate these accounts. You want to basically force the collection agency to provide proof to you that they have the legal right to collect on your debt. And a lot of times people don't do this, and they go into paying the debt expecting that to improve the credit score when it doesn't, and then they expect it to be removed and it won't. So what you want to do is you want to validate the collections first.
With a paper trail, not on the phone. Stop calling these people, especially collection agencies. They're on the phone to get your money. Yep. Do it on paper.
Yep, you want to do this in writing. And then once they prove it, you then want to negotiate a payment for deletion, okay?
After you've already had a few steady months of having good history. You're not going to just go to somebody and say, all right, now that you've proved it, I'm willing to give you this much if you delete it. Looking at your credit report, it looks like you don't pay anybody. So how about we just keep this there for now? And now you have to wait a whole another 6 months and before you can negotiate again. Be smart. Don't negotiate knowing that you aren't in a position of power. You gotta elevate your credibility before you can use your credibility.
Interesting. We appreciate that. So yeah, Terrence, he likes to speak as if he was a debt collector. All right. So we appreciate that insight. All right. However, make sure you validate your collections first and then negotiate a payment for deletion in writing. A lot of people don't do this, and they find them
Who laughing at me? That ain't funny. I saw that laugh.
I think Mrs. King is laughing at you. Anyway, so be careful when you do this. This is a common mistake that we see, and you want to do the opposite. All right. Number 7. Oftentimes we see people refusing
Refusing
because they don't believe in it.
I don't want to do that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, And if you believe it, you can achieve it. And because they don't believe it, they never do. Anyway.
I hate how true that is. That Corey crap was true.
Right. So not using credit cards to rebuild their payment history. Okay. One, payment history impacts your credit score by 35%, up to 192.5 points. Okay. Two, credit utilization is 30% of your credit score, 165 points. Basically, if you're not utilizing a credit card to rebuild your credit scores, you're missing out on potentially impacting this 30% component by you're basically missing out on maximizing that. Okay, so that's 165 points that you could potentially be up. But because you don't believe in credit cards, you're not seeing your credit score improve.
Answer me this: how can you raise your credit ability if you don't have something adding credit to your report? It's your credit report is a collection of data that's determined by how you manage debt. If you don't have a credit card that you're actually accumulating debt on, how can you prove that you can manage this debt in a positive way?
Right, and let's talk about that. A lot of people believe that they need to go tens and thousands, a lot of money, great sums of money in debt.
Right.
$1 is enough.
Is debt.
As long as it's not your dollar and it's somebody else's, that's considered
even if it is your dollar, secure credit card, even if it is your money, you're still showing that you can manage money that you were given.
Right. And basically, that basically comes to this point. You do not need to go into great amount of debt to use a credit card, okay? A secure credit card or unsecured credit card, you do not need to max it out. As long as you maintain credit utilization under 30%, it's going to positively improve your credit score. Now, of course, the lower the credit utilization, the better for you. Just saying, okay? So in order for you to improve this 30% component of your credit score, you need credit cards.
Most definitely.
Point blank period.
Most
all right?
Definitely. And I've had situations where, to piggyback off of what Jason was saying about the amount of debt you think you need to accumulate, a lot of times I had a situation where a client just did not want to sign up for a certain credit card just because it wasn't a prestigious credit card. The type of card isn't what matters. The better the card, a platinum card, a silver card, those higher tier cards, your credit report doesn't care about how high that tier card is. It cares about the money you're managing that you were granted. So this platinum card can give you rewards or mileage and all that good stuff.
Yeah, they don't grade you off of ego.
Yeah, they're grading you off of how you use that money, not how fancy of a card you got. So who cares if it's a secure card? That person shouldn't need to be in your business that much anyway to know what kind of credit card you have.
We actually have a good question. Tracy asks, what about retail cards?
Like Sears and stuff like that?
Yeah, they help you as well. These are still considered revolving accounts, which will help you improve your credit score. The good thing about retail cards is you can really set yourself up to win with those, because if you get one at a store that you never go to, you have the account open, but you're never going to use that card because you don't go there.
I've never actually thought of that.
Yeah, that's strategy,
It's real smart. Get credit cards where you don't shop, or you shop so seldom that you're always going to be below 30% utilization.
Exactly.
It's a beautiful little strategy there. I'm going to write that one down in my list of things for client progress reports.
Yes, sir. Let's talk about number 8.
Numero 8, credit sweep. Oh, credit sweeps. Okay, so we get a lot of clients that come to us that are like, hey, man, I signed up for this one service for, one-time fee of way too much money. And they, deleted the accounts in my report. And then I noticed my score dropped, and now it's harder for me to get stuff. It's because you kind of allow these people to sweep your credit reports. If everything on your credit report is being taken off, be it positive or negative, how do you expect to look better to these people?
Let me explain what a credit sweep is.
Okay.
So a credit sweep is basically the deletion of all the accounts off your credit report. Basically, they're sweeping it clean.
Yeah.
Now, the thing about a credit sweep is, it's a little janky. And
a little janky.
Yeah, the reason I say it's a little janky, because it depends on the situation. There are often times where
a credit sweep is helpful, possibly.
Well, not often times, but there are some times where it's helpful. But 99% of the time, 97% of the time, it's janky. And what I mean by that is, these credit repair professionals will basically dispute your accounts as if it was a fraudulent account, meaning that your identity was stolen and you never opened up the account, and then the credit bureaus will close that account and all that good stuff. Now, credit bureaus are cracking down on this, but in the past, this is what people do to sweep your credit reports. Now, the thing about that is, if you have 10 accounts on your credit report, 9 times out of 10, you opened up at least half of them, right? So it's janky in the aspect that we're lying, but you want to be careful about that, because what Terrence was saying is, your credit report, your credit score is all about your credibility, your credit worthiness, and if you take that away, how can we figure out if you're credit worthy for the line of credit that you're requesting? Okay.
You sitting there trying to argue up and down, like, I am good at it. I can show you receipts. I can show you this. I can show you that. They will look at you and go, we don't care about those receipts. We're looking at your credit report, and there's nothing here.
Right.
Like, we see no information about how you manage money.
So basically, you're going to have to start all over from scratch. Instead, what we do is we're strategic with what we do. We use factual disputes, and make sure that we use proven tactics to help our clients improve the credit scores, and we don't do that janky stuff.
Right.
So
our goal is not to just delete everything, especially if we see accounts that can just be for lack of a better word,
repaired.
Refurbished. Yeah, repair. Like, you got so few late payments, but the rest of it is good. Why would you want that completely deleted when you can just potentially get rid of those late payments, or come to some negotiation to have a charge-off reopened in positive standing or something like that? It's not a good idea to just sweep everything unless you're in a situation that's so bad. Okay, now Jason may not agree with me giving this example, but if your options are Chapter 13 or a credit sweep, that's kind of a situation where
it's not necessarily the credit sweep that I'm concerned about. It's the tactic that they use to do it.
Oh, so you get the credit sweep. Okay,
yeah.
Okay, janky tactics. Okay, okay.
Janky tactics. But anyway, you want to be a little hesitant when you are looking to work with someone or utilizing that tactic yourself, because credit bureaus do sue people. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So be careful.
They usually always win.
Sometimes. Okay, anyway, let me see, what else do we have? Number nine, only disputing with credit bureaus. Okay, so we have you, the consumer, we have the credit bureau, and then my head is the furnisher, the person where you get the line of credit from. Okay, so we have you, the furnisher, and the credit bureau. Okay, so there's 3 people in this game. Basically, what a lot of people do is they'll take this person out and only dispute with this person. But this person is the one actually reporting the information. So instead of you...
I hope somebody takes the footage and just edit something funny in his hands. Just do me that solid. And
so instead of disputing and requesting validation and verification from both sources, people only dispute with the credit bureau. And there's sometimes, depending on the strategy and the approach, you will need to actually bring in the furnisher and dispute with them as well, so that we can use information that they provide against them. Okay, so
that hits a lot of things Jason talked about earlier. Whereas if you dispute with just the bureaus, they aren't necessarily making sure everything is correct. Whereas if you dispute with the furnishers as well, they have to now prove that to not just the bureaus but you as well. So if you're going to just continue to dispute with the bureaus and wonder why things aren't falling off that are inaccurate, that's why. Because they don't get as in-depth as you, the consumer, could if you're contacting these people directly as well.
And, looking at the system that they use to verify the information, you can use the information from the actual furnisher who's, furnishing the information about you to the credit bureau against the actual credit bureau. Okay, so it really depends on the strategy, but only disputing with the credit bureaus, you want to be more in depth with your approach. Okay, so that's another mistake that we see when people are looking to repair their credit. And then lastly, we have
my favorite one. Research. My favorite one, and let me tell y'all why. Because I'm a very argumentative person. Like, I love to debate and argue. And I have a very strict don't open my mouth unless I know what I'm talking about rule. So if me and Jason are debating
Wait, do
about
you?
something, oh, I do.
What?
If we debating about something, he brings up a point that I don't have enough information on, I'm not gonna say nothing because I don't want to look stupid when he hit me with a fact, and I'm just like, oh. So with
Bro,
that
I hit
being
you with
said,
facts constantly.
unfact check facts, and then I go and fact check them, and if I don't come back and say nothing, it's because you were right. If I come back with another argument, it's like, hey, okay. So what I'm saying is, just because you hear me and Jason telling y'all all this, you still need to research to make sure what we're saying holds merit. And when I say research, I don't mean go find another video of someone else saying the same
Confirming.
thing.
Yeah. That's confirmation.
Yeah, you need to research, not just get, the same idea from someone else who's similar. You need to go online and research things that we say, not things that we say how to. Okay, and what I mean by that is, if I type in how to tie my shoes, 80% of the time I'm going to get a video of someone else showing me how to tie their shoes. Whereas, as opposed to there being a million other ways to do it. So you need to
look at why.
Yes, you need to look at evidence, pretty much. Go out there yourself and have personal first-hand experiences. Look at your own credit report and look at these accounts. Check out your receipts.
Let's talk about why this is important.
It's important because
oftentimes, I say that a lot now. Oftentimes, people who are looking to improve their credit scores or their credit report, whatever the situation may be, they use information that they have Googled.
Yeah.
And there's a million sources that tell you how to improve your credit, but they never share with you the in-depth reason of why you should do something this way, the purpose of that. They just tell you what to do and, what law backs this up, but they don't tell you why and all that good stuff. So when you are looking to improve your credit and you're using, Google Forms or anything that, anything other than what we're trying to teach you, make sure you look into why it's being said and how it can impact you, okay? Because research is important and a lot of people aren't doing it.
And a lot of people who think they are doing it are just, like Jason said, confirming what they heard from another person. Your situation, just because I said the collection account needs to be deleted, doesn't mean that that's the case for every single collection account. If you haven't actually researched your own credit report and looked through the accounts on your report, you could end up deleting something that should have just been, reversed or repaired in a different way. Pretty much don't always take someone's word for it. Go back and research it yourself. There's 1,000,001 situations I can think of that I can reference that, make this valid. Like, if I told you the sky was blue and you never looked up for yourself to see that the sky is blue, you're going to just take my word for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to be researching things more deep than just saying, well, they said this, so let me see, does that apply to me?
And that also goes into outside of just, credit repair tactics.
Life.
Of course, life, but we're talking about credit repair. Anyway, research the people who are claiming to help you.
Yeah, that's a good one.
There are companies, and then there's people who, do this as a hobby, okay? We live this, okay? So research our company, and we're confident that you'll find nothing but positive things. However, if you are looking to work with someone else, make sure you research them. Talk to their past clients, look them up online, see if they have any complaints or anything like that, and bring it to their attention to ask them how do they feel about that and what's the response. Research these people.
Just because you see a name tag does not mean that person's that credible as that tag name says, man.
Right. There are companies out here that offer credit repair services through what do you call the pyramid schemes? Instead of calling them pyramid schemes.
I was going to say, I think they're called pyramid schemes.
Anyway, there are companies out here that offer credit repair services through individuals, and these individuals don't know anything about credit repair.
Right.
Okay, and a lot of people sign up with these people, and they end up shooting themselves in the foot. Okay, so we just want you to be careful and make sure that you have all the tools that you need to make the good decisions. Okay.
Research.
Yep. So
research all 9 of our options we just said. Like, don't just take our word for it when we say don't close an account. Research why. Get things deeper as to what we said. Maybe, let me find one that could potentially be renewing the statute of limitations. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes, just research, man. Don't just take our word for it. Don't just take someone's word for it just because they're creditable. Research everything. Take no one's word for it until you've looked at it yourself and realized, okay, what they're saying does fit my situation after I've looked deeper into it.
Exactly.
You know?
And these are the 10 most common credit repair mistakes. All right. So after you have completed your research, you will find that we are a legitimate credit repair business that helps people boost their credit scores. And if you are someone who lacks the time and would rather work with professionals, we're the company for you. All right. We offer credit repair services to our clients, and we would love to do the same for your credit. All right. So if you're interested in learning more about our service, either give us a call at 419-824-0004. We're open Monday through Fridays from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. and also on Saturday, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Or you can visit our website, www.witnessriches.com/700club, and there you'll find information that will explain to you more about our service. Anyway, we appreciate you all joining us. Let's look at some of these questions really quick, and then we're going to close this out.
It would have been easier. Just look right there at the computer.
My bad.
And once again, don't just take our word for it, like we just said. Research. Y'all already forgetting step 10. Just taking our word for it. We got reviews everywhere. Yelp, our Better Business Bureau page, Facebook, and Google. Check some of those reviews out. Even click on some of those pages to make sure those aren't people that we just planted there for you. You know what I'm saying? Research. It's your best friend.
Yeah, so unfortunately, this only provides like...
It's being swagless.
Yeah, so I have to look at it this way.
Swagless.
Okay, so we have...
Have you ever had anyone successfully use Rent Karma to raise their score? I don't even know what Rent Karma is.
Well, this is something that we're definitely, investigating for our clients. Some of these tools, they, do help you, but they only help, 1 or 2 credit bureaus. We're looking for a source that improves all 3. But do your research, and then let us know what you find out about that. Okay.
How do I sign up?
Mr. Hurst, please give us a call, 419-824-0004, or visit our website, witnessriches.com/700club. That is included in the comment area for anyone interested in learning more. Okay. Tracy, we actually answered that one live. Good question, though. Appreciate that, Jenny. Darnell Moss, what do you do with the sign up and how much money does it cost? How long is the service? So basically, when you sign up, it basically starts the process. We send you the next steps to obtain your credit reports. We develop a strategy for you, and then we send off your first rounds. And then to maintain the service, $25 to get started today, and then it's $75 monthly. And basically, the length of the service, we recommend that you give it at least 6 months, but it's a month-to-month service, so you have the opportunity to cancel at any time. All right.
No cancellation fees either.
All right. And Tisha, what if you have an identity problem? I'm an identical twin, and
So pretty much her and her twins' information is always getting switched up.
Well, that's why you want to have credit monitoring, so you can keep an eye on that. It's hard, to actually prevent that from happening because that's a credit bureau issue. And until they, improve their systems, you'll basically have to continue to dispute that information to make sure that it doesn't happen.
And one major thing about identity fraud or identity problems, stuff like that, is to get results when it comes to claiming that something wasn't yours, you really need to follow through with more than just a credit bureau. Because I'm going to give you a situation that I dealt with before. I was a customer at a place at this rent-to-own place. All right, and my product was stolen right in front of me. All right, now they told me a lot of times.
Say word?
Yeah, almost deaf. Yeah, like literally, I was writing on my tablet. Some random kids came by, grabbed my tablet, and ran off.
So you got bullied by some 3-year-olds?
I didn't get bullied. All right, I chased them down. That's part of the story I'm getting to. I had to break the tablet, sadly.
Got you.
But pretty much, they say they have cases like this all the time. And my case was different because I didn't just complain about it. I was persistent. Going back to Jason's persistency. I didn't just go, hey, place, I'm not gonna say the name of the place, my product was stolen or my product was damaged not by me. I went and followed the proper steps, filed police reports, made sure I had IDs, receipts, all that stuff, so that they saw how serious I was about fixing the issue, as opposed to just claiming an issue happened and then being marked as a liability or someone who's fraudulently claiming things have been stolen.
So basically what he's saying is, if you do see a mistake on your credit report, do something about it.
Yeah, not just through the bureaus. Do something about it with these account holders as well. Paper trail.
That's where we are right here. We have you, the furniture,
right though,
and then
right
the
though,
credit bureau.
right though.
So
if you
make sure you do something with this guy.
Has something taken that the furniture gave you, and you only talk to the bureaus about it, they won't care because you haven't contacted them to let them know about the issue. You need to let everyone know involved in the party what happened and be persistent to make sure the results are trying to be resolved.
Exactly. Quentin, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to serve you. Definitely looking forward to getting you the results that you desire, man. Tanisha, what up, though?
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. We look forward to getting you results too.
Yes.
And Tisha. Welcome back.
She's an ex-client.
Yes.
Kind of, sort of.
Paperwork.
FES was the company.
With us, we actually do.
We do the work for you.
Yeah, we do the work. You get the credit.
It's a done-for-you credit repair service.
Yep.
The only thing you will be signing is the agreement.
And the only thing you'll be sending is results. Okay, let me rephrase that because I don't want you to sound like you just, the only thing you'll be sending is correspondences for us to make sure that these are the results we're looking for.
And so that we can respond on your behalf.
Exactly.
So,
we want this to be as stress-free for you as possible.
Exactly. So yeah, Travis, if you are interested in learning more, please give us a call, 419-824-0004, or visit our website, witnessriches.com/700club to learn more about our program. We would love to serve you, man. Thank you all for your time. Again, my name is Jason White. I'm sorry, we have one more.
Yeah, welcome. He's ready to just close down.
FICO is used in 90% of lending situations, so I would rather you go with the FICO. Credit Karma is a great tool. However, they use the Vantage formula, and that's not used as often.
And you only get 2 reports.
Exactly.
I kind of consider your experience to be one of the most important because they're such snitches. So you kind of want to see that experience, what's going on there too, to see what's really not more accurately than the other 2, but they give a lot more information to furnishers than the other 2. So you definitely want something that's at least upon you with that.
That's
experience.
His personal opinion.
My personal opinion, definitely. And also, there was something else about the upcomer. Like he said, most people do use the MyFICO, but you also have to keep in mind that every single person who pulls your credit report, they're looking for different criteria. So they may be using the MyFICO, but depending on how they're calculating the items on your score will fluctuate on where you're going. Your mortgage score will look different from your auto loan, which will look different from a credit card, which will look different from a bank loan, which will look different from a job applying. So.
Yeah. So it's kind of hard to figure out which one is actually best for you because
just learn your credit report and what's on there, so you know ahead of time what's to be expected.
Basically, that's why credit repair is important, because the more positive your credit report, ultimately the better your credit scores will be.
Most definitely.
So if you don't have anything hurting you, then there shouldn't be a reason why your scores shouldn't be high. Anyway. Again, my name is Jason White. Terrence Coleman here. We appreciate you all. We appreciate the shout out, Quentin. You are appreciated. And we look forward to getting you more results. But thank you all for your time. Again, reach out to us if you have any further questions, 419-824-0004. And our website is www.witnessriches.com/700club. It's your boy, Go Lions. I'm out.